Good afternoon, everyone. Paul here, coming at you with a video that will help to describe some of the exciting features that are available to you in the SmartCash wallet, and some of the exciting new features that are not quite yet out but will be available here in the next coming weeks. This video is actually sponsored by SmartCash, which is a decentralized, peer-to-peer, community-driven cryptocurrency. For my fellow Cryptidians who may be well aware, I created a video on SmartCash many months ago, just a few months after their creation, and it has been an absolute pleasure to watch the community and the development teams grow this project to meteoric new heights. And it's doubly exciting to be working hand in hand with them in a much more direct capacity, helping to spread the message of individual freedom and commerce, decentralized commerce, all around the world. So, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have available today, which is smartcash.cc. This is SmartCash's website and a fantastic resource to get information about not only what SmartCash is, but development teams and what they're doing, and proposals that you can vote on proportional to the amount of smart you hold, which helps to reveal some of the community-driven development that I mentioned previously. Not to mention, you can get some great information about some of the features available on the SmartCash network, such as the Smart Card, which is a fantastic plastic card, or a digital card as well, that you can use at merchants anywhere that accepts SmartCash. So, let's go ahead and take a look at some of those exciting new features that you'll find in the SmartCash wallet. Here we can see the test wallet, and for those wondering, yes, SmartCash does have a fully functional web wallet that you can use today, and you can use it without having to download any additional software onto your local device, which makes it convenient and easy to use. Now, you'll notice that I have my username typed in, but I don't yet have my password entered. And there's a method to my madness. For those of you who've been following Cryptide previously, you may be aware we take security very, very seriously here at Cryptide. So I wanted to show you we have a strong, robust password that we will be using to secure our funds. Now, we don't have two-factor authentication enabled for this account, just so it's easy to log in for the sake of recording. However, you as an individual user, it is heavily recommended that you install two-factor authentication for your own account. That way, if you ever have your password compromised, or someone's trying to access your account who you did not give permission to do so, they have to have access as well to your local device to use two-factor authentication. So it's one of the best ways to secure your funds. Safety, it's that important. Okay, let's go ahead and enter in the password and gain access to our example wallet so I can show off some of those exciting new features I mentioned. All right, here we can see a fantastically sleek user interface. Now, SmartCash may be sponsoring this video, but this is something that, despite that even, I would say and sing from the rooftops. I deal with a lot of different crypto wallets, some of which I use on a regular basis, some that I examine just to get a better idea as to what the precedent in this space is. And let me tell you folks, SmartCash has one of the most intuitive, straightforward, and friendly, easy-to-use crypto wallets that I've seen in the space. Now, it may be straightforward and intuitive, but for the sake of brevity and for the sake of information, I'm going to go into a little bit of detail about what we see in front of us before jumping into some of those exciting new features I mentioned. Now, you can see we have 100 SmartCash in our spending wallet. What is a spending wallet? Well, just as it says, it's a wallet that you can load and empty at your discretion for discretionary spending or for whatever you want. Next up, we have the two Smart Rewards wallets, Smart Rewards and Smart Rewards 2. Now, the difference between these wallets has nothing to do with actual functionality, but rather intended use. So here's what Smart Rewards are. If you have 1,000 SmartCash or more with no outgoing transactions for a set block amount, or in a more human-friendly way, about 1 month, you will receive a portion of the block rewards, or said another way, an amount of SmartCash. This could perhaps be best conceptualized as a savings account. Essentially, if you have a set amount or more, and you don't move it for a set amount of time, you receive an amount of SmartCash, or a smart reward for doing so. And again, you can move funds around as you see fit with these wallets. Just keep in mind, if you have an outgoing transaction, that will invalidate that month's smart reward. Hence the delineation between spending and smart reward. Now, the new wallet that's included is the scheduled payment wallet, and this is something I'm particularly excited about. You can see we have 50 SmartCash in our scheduled payment wallet, and it's used for exactly that, payments that you schedule in advance. There's a reason I'm excited about this. This is a problem that I personally have turned over in my head a number of times. How, in a system in which you are the sole arbiter of your funds, only you can send capital out to various institutions, can you have a recurring system? After all, it's pretty clunky if I have to make a Netflix payment every month and I have to manually send it every month. What if I forget and now I'm on a flight to somewhere overseas and I've yet to pay my bill and now I'm stuck on a whole plane ride without Netflix? That can't happen. And luckily, SmartCash has solved this issue in crypto for us. Let's take a look. On the left-hand side, you'll see many of the fantastic features available in the SmartCash wallet, but as stated, we're taking a look at scheduled and recurring payments. So let's click Scheduled Payments on the left-hand side of the screen. This will take us to a simple yet elegant page that gives us all of the information we need to know about payments that we want to schedule in advance. You can see Scheduled Payments and a balance of 50 SmartCash. Next up, if we want to top off our balance because perhaps we don't have enough SmartCash, we just click the yellow deposit button, and it will give us the traditional string of letters and numbers that's associated with sending cryptocurrency, as well as a seamless, easy-to-use QR code. So if you're using your mobile device, you can simply hold it up, scan the QR code, and send funds from that account. Now, let's say 50 SmartCash is plenty and we don't need to deposit anymore. Let's examine how to create a scheduled payment, or a payment set for the future. We'll click Create Scheduled and enter in a donation address. Here is a pre-created address that I created before this video for demonstration purposes. Next, we'll select the currency. Of course, you can choose any currency from the list, but we're going to be doing SmartCash. For the transaction date, let's say 1 week for today. For our example, let's say I have an individual who I'm paying for goods or services that I want to lock in an amount of funds for. However, I don't want to send this payment early, just in case the individual in question wants to renegotiate the goods and services after I send the payment. So we'll set this for the future date, 1 week in advance, which at the time of recording is February 19th. Next, we'll select an amount. We'll say 10 SmartCash. From there, it's as simple as entering your password and hitting the button Create. From there, your payment will be logged, the funds will be locked, and come the selected date, in our case again, February 19th, that payment will be submitted automatically from your scheduled payments balance. Fantastic. Now, let's say I don't want to do this just once, but perhaps every week, or maybe every month. Well, from there, we can create recurring payments, which will allow us to do just that. So we'll click Create Recurring, and here you'll see an additional line that lets us create a description. You can see Netflix and Hulu have been entered just as previous examples. After all, I'm a person too, and I wanted to toy around with this implementation as soon as it came out to get a better idea that I can then pass on to you guys. So let's say I've been having a great time with Netflix and I want to set some payments for the next 4 months or so. Well, I will title this recurring payment Netflix. And for the destination address, we'll simply use the example address that I created for example purposes. Don't actually use this address. Next, we want to pay, not daily, and certainly not weekly. Fortnightly just means every 2 weeks. We want to pay monthly. And in our fantastic universe, Netflix accepts SmartCash. Now, they don't accept it yet, but all in good time, all in good time. And we want to select an amount. Let's say 10 SmartCash. And we want to start sending this balance on tomorrow, and it'll end, we said 4 months, February, March, April, May, let's go to June. And let's say we want to stop this recurring payment on June 30th. Now everything looks to be in order. We have the description for what the payment is for, the destination address associated with the account, the increment, which is monthly, the currency, which is smart, and the total amount. Next up, all we'll need to do is enter a password. Our password, actually, not just any password. And from there, we'll select Create. And just like that, your recurring payment has been created. How simple is that? This is actually more intuitive and more user-friendly than some existing multi-billion-dollar companies that I've utilized for recurring payments. So it just goes to show that SmartCash is enabling recurring payments and other intuitive, user-friendly functionality on the blockchain live. So here you can see under recurring payment, Netflix. It's a monthly payment and it's 10 SmartCash a month, just as we entered. Now, just for the sake of information, you can see on the left-hand side of the screen that after we created a scheduled payment, it automatically moved us down to the Transactions tab. This is part of the seamless, intuitive nature of the SmartCash wallet that I mentioned earlier. In the Transactions tab, you can see your transactions for all 4 associated wallets that we covered at the beginning of the video. And you can see here, we are under the Scheduled Payment wallet, which allows us to see all of our scheduled and recurring payments. Now, having a recurring payment for 4 months means each month means we essentially have scheduled 4 payments. However, it seems as though it didn't count for May, since I guess the way the actual wallet calculated the amount of time. So there's still some functionality being worked on here, but nonetheless, the point still stands that we have a recurring payment for February, March, and April. It didn't quite catch June, assumingly because it wasn't a full month. So there are some things to be worked out potentially, but if you need to send one more payment manually, not too big of a deal. Point of the matter being, you have recurring payments for each month, 10 SmartCash each particular month, that are associated with this monthly payment for Netflix. Now let's say I'm not happy with Netflix. I don't like the way things are going, and I just want to cancel, right? I want to cancel for, let's say, April. I want to keep it up through March. It's as simple as clicking the drop-down menu here on the right-hand side, and this gives us all of the associated payment information. If I want to cancel for April, all I have to do is click this little garbage can icon here, and it's as simple as that. Once this loads, you can see the status, the transaction has been canceled. And instead of having a yellow created icon, it now has a red canceled icon. Now, let's say I have many, many months of recurring payment. I don't want to have to go through and cancel every single one manually. Well, don't worry. SmartCash has thought of that as well. All you have to do is head to Recurring Payments, hit the drop-down menu in the exact same fashion, and, just like we did last time, click the little garbage pail icon. From there, the entire recurring payment will be canceled. This still says created, since being that it's a blockchain, sometimes it takes a few seconds or up to a minute to update. However, the point still stands that all of these recurring payments associated with a monthly payment of Netflix have been canceled, meaning you don't have to worry about it. In fact, we're going to refresh the wallet and see if it went ahead and updated while we were talking. Again, this is a great example. Perfect. This gives us a chance to take a look at the left-hand side, intuitively head down to Transactions, as said. We'll head down to Scheduled Payment, head over to Scheduled, and now we can see that indeed they have been canceled. This is part of the beauty of having the ability to use your funds in a flexible way as you see fit. As stated, SmartCash is truly empowering individuals in a community-focused way to take control of their funds. You can now pay people in a recurring fashion every month, every 2 weeks, every day if you want, and no one can stand in your way. This is not only a powerful way to bank the unbanked, but a powerful way to deliver financial sovereignty into the hands of individuals anywhere in the world, and it's getting better with each implementation. I hope this preview of the recurring transactions and the scheduled payments for SmartCash could be useful and informative for you. Let me know what you think of this kind of content below in the comments, or head over to the SmartCash Discord or the Cryptide Discord for more information. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. My name is Paul, we are Cryptide, and remember, the tide is rising.